Sonic's Green Hills Adventures Season 4 Chapter 5 Oogie's Team Up. Oogie's point of view.
To my relief, my plan to get into gun headquarters undetected was a success. Okay, I'm in now to find this Dr. Robotnik. I whispered to myself as I looked for the cell block. I finally found it. Dr. Robotnik, are you in here? I called out in a loud whisper.
Yes, but who's asking?
Dr. Robotnik replied, who I could tell was suspicious of me. I'm Oogie, you know the Bobby man. I came to break you out. I think we could make a great team. With my magic and your technology, we'll be unstoppable. I explained confidently.
What is it you're after exactly?
Dr. Robotnik asked with a look of interest. To crush the spirit of my arch-nemesis, Jack Skellington. I said with a passion.
So you want revenge on your mortal enemy too, huh? Alright, I'm in after all. A certain blue hedgehog and his brother is up for a good old taste of pain.
Dr. Robotnik said as I freed him from his cell. Then we hurried out of there.
Meanwhile, with midnight, they saw that Sully was backed into a corner by the gun soldiers.
Molly, we have to stop this.
Midnight exclaimed desperately, hoping her new friends could stop this.
I got this. We're on very good terms with the government.
Shadow said reassuringly. Then he teleported to where Sully was. Sally's point of view.
Oh, I couldn't believe I was trapped by these humans, but please don't hurt me. I begged as I felt tears falling from my eyes.
Nice try, you creep, but we are not falling for the oldest trick in the book.
One of the soldiers said with an irritated tone. I knew it was no use. Just when I thought it was all over, a flash of light blinded me for a moment. When it faded, I saw an anthropomorphic hedgehog with black and red fur standing there.
Please stand down. She's the mother of my newest friend.
The hedgehog ordered with authority in his voice.
Or apologizes, Shadow, but if her kid is in Green Hills, how did she end up here?
The other guard asked out of confusion. What you brought me here after midnight vanished. He's trying to break someone out, some sort of human scientist. I said as I wanted to stop Oogie, know that I had people who could help.
Oh no, anyone but him. You guys go find Oogie. I have to get her to her daughter now.
Shadow said immediately.
You got it, Shadow.
The guards replied as they saluted to him.
Alright, stand close to me, Mrs. Skellington.
Shadow instructed gently as he held out his hand. I quickly took it, for I was more than ready to see my daughter. Oh, by the way, please just call me Sally. I added quickly.
Alright then, Sally. Chaos Control!
Shadow said with a smile, and suddenly we weren't there anymore.
Jack's point of view.
Once I was back in town, I knew that I needed to see Dr. Finkelstein about getting my family home. So I went straight to his laboratory, and I pushed the doctor's doorbell.
The door's open.
I heard Dr. Finkelstein say from inside, so I went in.
Jack, what brings you here?
Dr. Finkelstein asked curiously, well, half bad news. Oogie sent me to a different world. And then he went somewhere else with Sally. I tried to stop him, but I wasn't fast enough. So I need your help to bring them home. I explained carefully, for I knew he had a short temper and was very protective of Sally.
Oh dear, I can make a portal machine, however, it will take no time. Also, we need to know where Oogie took them to for it to work.
Dr. Finkelstein replied with a sad smile. That's when a plane popped into my skull. Don't worry, Doctor, I know where we can find out. I'll be right back with the information. I said as I head back towards the front door.
Alright, I'll get started on my part as well.
Dr. Finkelstein said as I left the lab. A few minutes later, I arrived at the witch's shop. When I entered, the toll witch was at the front counter.
Hello, Jack. How can we help you?
She asked me curiously. Oogie sent my family to an unknown location. Do you think you can find out where they were sent to? I asked hopefully.
Yes, indeed I can. Follow me.
The toll witch said as she started going to the back of the shop. So then I followed her to a large cauldron. She started pouring potions into it.
Alright, Jack, it's ready. Just ask it who you want to see.
the toll which told me happily, "Please show me my daughter." I said nervously, for I didn't know what state I'd see her in. A moment later, I could see my little angel standing in a living room with two anthropomorphic hedgehogs, some humans, and three beings I couldn't identify.
Oh, Sonic, are you sure Shadow can do this? What if Oogie finds him first?
Midnight asked the blue hedgehog called Sonic, apparently.
Of course, his powers are combat-based and we're on such good terms that the president shared his phone number with me.
Sonic replied confidently.
You don't worry, Midnight. He'll return to Green Hills with your mother at any moment.
The gray hedgehog, that is, he put a supportive hand on Midnight's shoulder. Over there in the same world. And I got a location name. But most importantly of all, is they'll be safe while waiting for the portal machine. Thank you so much. I have to get this information to Dr. Finkelstein right away. I said right before heading out the door.
Just after Sonic and Silver reassured Midnight, Shadow reappeared with Sully. Midnight exclaimed as she ran over to Sully with tears in her eyes.
Midnight, thank goodness you're all right.
Sully exclaimed as she picked Midnight up in her arms and held her close.
Thank you, Shadow.
Midnight exclaimed as soon as they calmed down their tears.
No problem. It was my pleasure. However, I have to get back there to stop Dr. Robotnik from escaping.
Shadow said as he was about to use Choose Control.
Wait a moment, Shadow, what? And I'm in.
Sonic said seriously.
Yep, he wants to work with him. Now let's hurry.
Shadow said frantically.
Right?
Sonic said as he went over to stand at Shadow's side.
Chaos control!
Shadow exclaimed and they disappeared. Then they appeared in front of gun headquarters again. They heard a commotion and headed towards the noise as fast as they could.
What's going on over here?
Shadow demanded as they came to a stop in front of some gun soldiers that were arguing.
We're sorry, Shadow, but when we found Dr. Robotnik with the one who broke him out, they disappeared through a portal.
One of the soldiers replied as he looked at the ground in shame.